Hey everyone, the Staff here, and I am at my friend Jazz's house. We just saw Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, a little while ago. What were your general thoughts about the movie?
Oh my goodness.
In a non-spoiler fashion. This is the non-spoiler video.
Non-spoilers. Well, there's a lot to discuss. I mean, wow. One thing, the critics, they're right. And they get this one thing right out of everything else that people are saying, is that Ben Affleck, he does a good job. He's a good Batman. And you know, that's probably the biggest thing I took out of this movie, is that Ben Affleck, to me, fit what I consider Batman more than any other Batman in cinema history. Because when I think of Batman, I think of the animation Batman. I think he just fit the perfect type of gizmo action fighter Batman with that detection or detective persona. But yeah, I loved it. So I think he really fit that role. Plus he's jacked. I'm going to say this, there is a scene where he's working out, getting buff, smacking a hammer on a tire. Oh man, it was really just motivating. Motivating is a good word for it.
So yeah. I know going into this movie you were a bit skeptical. Was your skepticism justified after seeing the movie, or do you have different feels now that you've seen it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I thought the movie was better than I thought it'd be after, seeing some of the initial reviews, Rotten Tomatoes, and just the other, reviews I've heard on Reddit and other internet sources. I thought it was way better than what people made it sound like. But my initial reaction to who was cast for the movie and just kind of the stigma I had towards some of those actors, that carried through. I didn't think they fit the role, except Ben Affleck. I thought he did a really good job. But Lex Luthor, I didn't feel his character. I thought it was way too forced from him, and he was just acting way too weird. Lex Luthor's seems like more of a businessman villain.
Yeah.
And in this guy, in this movie, he's more like just a psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the other thing I have to say that I agree with the critics is that this movie was a little bit scattered. There's a few things that I didn't understand throughout the movie that they'll have to clear up. Maybe it's just some leads for the DC universe later on. But I don't know. It was a little bit scattered. The plot wasn't linear, wasn't easy to follow. You had to really tie some things together, and there was a lot of inside things that DC people would pick up on, and I'm more acquainted with Marvel, so yeah. But I mean, for those fans, it might have been really, really good for them. But I don't know. I thought it was better than what other people made it sound like.
All right. Let's talk about the action scenes. Did they live up to how you were feeling about that?
Okay, so the beginning of the movie, way up until the spot where the plot changes, I'm not going to say too much, but I thought the beginning scene, the city, and even Batman's origin, I thought that was great. I thought the first 30 minutes of the film kept me on the top of my seat, on the edge of my seat. Mm-hmm. It was great. The action was great. They really tied it in with the other movie and stuff like that. Don't want to give too much away, but it was great. But as the plot kept manifesting itself in different directions, so did the action.
Yep.
So did the action. It kind of got just a little bit skewed, and there was the one scene between Batman and Superman. That's not a spoiler. It's going to happen, and I thought it could have been drawn out a little bit more. The amount we got was good, but I mean, come on, if it's a 2.5-hour video or movie, that should be half of it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But overall, I thought it's a quality film. They spent a lot of money on it. CGI, effects, all the action scenes, the amount that we did give, they were great. It was fun.
Awesome. Me, myself, I enjoyed this movie. I thought that it was pretty good. I will agree with you on some points. I wasn't completely sold with Lex Luthor myself either. The beginning of the movie, yes. I honestly think that was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can completely agree with you about Ben Affleck. This was a casting that a lot of people were super skeptical about when it was announced. A lot of people even hated it and were really angry about it. And I remember when they announced it, I was like, huh, okay. Let's give it a chance. Let's see what he can do. Sure. I mean, yes, he wasn't, like, Daredevil wasn't the best movie in the world, and a lot of people were...
We don't talk about that here.
And a lot of people were basing their judgment on that, but he's done so much since that movie. He's directed Best Picture movie, and all of his movies that he's directed have been really good, and I feel like he's really grown in the filming industry since that. And I felt like, at the time, that he could use everything that he's learned and all those skills towards this role in this movie, and I was really impressed with him. I will agree. Yes, he was built for the role. A lot of actors in these big superhero movies nowadays, you can tell the ones that are using a little bit of roids. You can tell the ones that their muscles look a little bit pudgy, you know, not like that strong, that tough, like, look to it.
Yeah, the look you have.
The look I wish I had. This guy was solid muscle. He's jacked, and this was the best Bruce Wayne I think that we've ever gotten in all the Batman movies. I think that he was very true to that character.
Yeah.
I felt like we could have gotten a little bit more Batman, but what we got in this movie, I'm excited for a solo Batman movie, especially if they give the reins to Ben Affleck. He wants to direct a solo Batman movie, and I think that it would be really good.
I think he deserves it. He worked for it. He fits the bill. Great Bruce Wayne. Absolutely. They should give him the reins and let him try it out. I think he would be an excellent Batman. Just ongoing. Obviously, he was in this movie, in our opinion, but ongoing, I think he'll do really well. Yep.
Any last non-spoiler thoughts that you want to give in this video?
Wonder Woman. I thought she was pretty good too. I liked how, you know, they kept her kind of in the back seat a little bit, but they also built upon her story a little bit, and I liked the interactions she had with Batman, especially the emailing scene. So that was kind of cool. I mean, that was neat. I like that. Again, the highlight of the movie was Ben Affleck and Batman, and of course his butler. I mean, he was awesome too. Can't go wrong with him. I thought that was great. The beginning of the movie was great. I thought Superman, I really liked him. In Man of Steel, I was kind of like up and down with him.
Yeah.
But he really solidified himself in this movie, and I really appreciated that. So, but I'd say, despite that, the movie does have some flaws. It's not perfect. A little bit scattered. It seems like the director and just the DC universe and the people backing this movie are trying to just, throw way too much to boost and promote the DC universe, the Justice League, and it seems like they're just really trying to do that way too much in this one movie. They got to spread it out a little bit. But besides that, I thought it was fun. It was entertaining.
Yeah, I will agree with you. There were a couple moments that I was like, what's going on? Like you said, they were trying to cram in a lot, but at the same time, if you take this movie and you compare it to Marvel and like Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 2, those movies were trying to cram in way too much and did a terrible job with it. This, on the other hand, yes, they were balancing a lot, but I feel like overall it was still a quality movie.
Right. Yeah, like Spider-Man 3 is a great example. That is just the definition of cramming way too much into a superhero movie. And this movie, they were able to cram a lot, and they still smoothed it out enough where it works. But if if that bothers you and you want more of a focused plot, it could bother you too. So, yeah, we don't mention that either. Spider-Man 3, Daredevil. Don't
And I will agree with you too about Superman. I watched Man of Steel this past week. Obviously, I did the video for it, and there were moments in. Thanks for the plug. There were moments in that movie where he was very anti-Superman, just the way that he did things and just how he was thinking about things. In this movie, I will agree. This was a Superman that I felt was more true to the character. This was a Superman that I enjoyed watching him. I enjoyed his screen times. With this movie, I felt like it was going to be more heavily on Batman than Superman, and while it was at times, I still feel like they both equally got decent story time.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that. Yeah, so if you're a Superman fan, Batman fan, they got enough for both. And if you're a Wonder Woman fan, you gotta wait a little bit, but they still throw that in there for you.
But the movie's called Batman v Superman.
Right, you're not looking for Wonder Woman.
We knew that Wonder Woman was going to be in it. We knew she wasn't going to be in it a whole lot, and I think she was in the movie a decent amount.
She was. I think they did a good job with that.
Alright, well I think we're going to wrap up this video here. Stick around, we are going to be doing our spoiler talk. If you like this video, please subscribe. Check out all my other videos that I made leading up to Batman v Superman. And if you've seen it, what were some of your favorite parts of this movie? And if you haven't seen it, what are you looking forward to? Again, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you guys real soon.